I was one of the first parents at Mitchell School. Dr. Martha Uriosti was the principal of Mitchell School, and she is the one who had the idea to bring Montessori to an elementary school in Five Points in order to attract educated families from all across the city and to integrate Mitchell School. Mitchell Elementary School was the first public Montessori school in Colorado. At that time, it was 50-50 advantaged kids and low-income neighborhood kids. And we all, I think, kind of innocently believed that it didn't matter that there was such a gulf in family income and family education between our kids and the kids from the neighborhood. But became particularly clear to me with my 3-year-old. When I would go observe in Catherine's classroom, oftentimes sitting next to me was a parent she lived in the Curtis Park public housing. We would watch our daughters as they moved through their materials in the classroom. By May, it was becoming obvious that my daughter was progressing faster than her daughter. Toward the end of school that spring day, I kind of looked over at her. It was clear she could see it too, and she had tears in her eyes, and she whispered to me, it's not fair, they're only 3 years old. That had a huge impact on me, how we had so much hope for these kids, and how could there be so much difference? Those of us who were close to it knew that there was something wrong and we didn't know how to fix it. Our best logic was, if Montessori is working so well for all these kids and we need to do something to give the neighborhood kids a leg up, even at age 3, well, the obvious answer was, let's start earlier. We didn't know why, and it wasn't until 10 years later that the research came out and said why, and that was that child brain development is critical. In those days, the environment that Mitchell was in was really grim. Directly across the street from Mitchell Montessori was this string of apartments that was boarded up. We didn't know what was going on in there, but we knew it wasn't good. The PTA was called, we incorporated as the Friends of Maria Mitchell, and that group became focused on doing something with the building across the street so we could have a place to run a school for the neighborhood kids 0 to 3. We planted 2 huge signs in English and in Spanish saying that the community claimed this building for the education of the children of the neighborhood. After a few years at Family Star, sure enough, we could all see the difference when the children from the neighborhood, having had at least 2 years of early education, when they walked across the street to Mitchell, they did better. And we closed that gap. I am very proud to tell you that there are some of those assistants who started at the very beginning at Family Star are still working for Family Star today, and they eventually got their education, became Montessorians, and are getting college degrees. I remember early on talking with a neighborhood parent at Family Star and asking her how things are doing. And she gave me a big grin and she said, "My kid is smart." And so it transforms not only the child, but the parents, the grandparents, the extended family, and pretty soon you've made a difference in a whole community. It's powerful, and there is nothing else I know of that can make that difference in a community.
When my husband Rico and I were looking for a school, our beliefs and our core values were a little bit different on what education looked like, but we knew it was important to us. I think when Rico and I made the commitment to live in this neighborhood, we wanted to be able to walk to a school that had been here and it had had a foundation serving all kinds of kids. And we just really wanted to find a place that felt the same way about community that we did. And I feel like that's what I found here.
I remember when I started looking for employment after having my son, I said, oh my God, what am I gonna do as far as childcare? Where am I gonna take him? I didn't know much about being a parent because I was a teen parent. I didn't have those resources back then. But when I found Family Star, there's so many resources. There's parenting classes, there's how to implement Montessori in your home, and I've definitely been doing that.
I completely believe in Montessori. Finding Family Star, I think really rooted our family. It rooted us in this is the core of what we believe in. The dual language, the authentic Montessori, the inclusivity. They service all kinds of kids and all kinds of families. They treat us all the exact same. And I think that allowed us to grow our family in a similar way where we were coming in from two different perspectives.
The fact that Family Star provide this dual language thing, which makes it the key. I mean, it was just this is where we should bring our kids.
Verde. Sí.
Amarillo.
For us, it was very, very important. The earlier they start, the better.
From birth to 5 years old is when they pick up so much. And I think it helps to build self-confidence and to build relationships with others, because that's what we do at Family Star.
To watch people like Graciela and Miss Irma and Miss Jeanette, the way they love on these children, but also hold them accountable and believe in them. It's really rare to see that. These teachers are just so present with these kids.
I was kind of more overprotective of my kids, no, don't go here, don't go there, because you're gonna hurt yourself. And they're like, it's okay. They taught me not to be afraid of letting them be children. I remember when I had my two oldest ones at Northeast, just the things that they would do at home by themselves. They would help fold towels, and they wanted to help wash the dishes. It helped them to be more independent.
They're excited to come home and show you what they've learned.
He comes home with this is a Trinodon, and I'm like, what's that, But he's teaching me to actually learn the name and then how to pronounce it and how to say it and then what these animals ate and are they a carnivore, all these different things. It's brilliant. Here's a kid that is 4.5 years old that's educating the parents. Who won't be blown away about that?
I think what Family Star completely articulates for all families is a holistic education for the whole family. So that's your cognitive skills, that's dental and medical, that's nutrition, and it's mental health and wellness. Every kid here gets all of those services, and they meet you where you are in your needs.
There's opportunities here at Family Star. I'm going to get, ready to go back to school in the fall. We also have this tuition assistance program where they help pay tuition to go back to school. Family Star does give you that opportunity to grow as a person and help your family grow as well.
I think this is really simple. I think if we don't invest in all kids at an early age, it's going to come back to us in society when these kids get older. And I'm talking all kids. I don't care what your documentation status is. I don't care what your home life looks like. I don't care where you were born. All kids deserve an excellent early childhood education.
Giving any kid the access of having an education, whether they have money or they don't have money, I mean, that's a huge thing. Hands down, phenomenal.